This is like the 95th time I'm going to try this. I always get something wrong. Yes, I am back. I'm going to make this as quick as possible because I am sitting in my rock room, but for the time being, it's not my rock room. The last time in April 25th was the last time I made a video. 2 or 3 days later, I got a phone call from my best friend. A feral cat had gotten into her house from the floorboards from outside because they were having renovations done to the house. And she left behind 4 kittens. These kittens were on the cusp of between 3 and 4 weeks old. There were 4 of them. I brought them home. I've taken care of them. They all survived, surprisingly. Um, they're at the point now where I can boot them out of my rock room and start polishing because I'm not going to do that around young kittens and not with silicosis and things like that. So they can be booted out now long enough for me to do something. However, for today, this is just going to be a very short video. Well, that's my intention anyway. What it ends up being is, I don't know. Now I just lost the flashlight again. Now what did I do with it? Oh. All right. Now, so what am I going to do today? Today I'm just going to show you a few things. Friend of mine, Junior is his name. Thank you, Junior. Sent me a pound of fluorite. And this stuff is, I'm trying to do this so you can see it. There we go. Oh, I don't think this is going to work, is it? Well, anyway, if you can try and ignore the bright light, this is another one. I love the color of this one. It's that beautiful blue-green teal color. It is really nice. Yeah. You can see it actually better without being right on the rock, apparently. This one is a piece of, oh, look at that one. Oh, look at that one. This one's thicker, so the colors will stand out better when I put the light behind it or through it. It's just stunning. He also sent me 3 pounds of rough from Madagascar. And, sorry. So, before I knew what it was, I thought, ooh, let's cut that. We're not going to pay any attention to what it really is. We're just going to cut it. So I cut it. And it turns out that this rough from Madagascar is actually, let me see if I can get it in there right, chevron amethyst. Can you believe that? I was stunned. I'm not doing anything else with these things. I'm just going to polish them up and they're going to look beautiful. So what else have I got? This one here is Amazonite. And if you put the flashlight on there, you can see it glowing. It is a very pretty teal, well, you can see the color. It's a very pretty stone. It's used a lot in jewelry. This was a specimen piece and that was left behind in my possession. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably chop it up. Then there's this one. This one I found in my one of my buckets. I'm sitting here looking at this, sitting there. I'm going to wash it off a little bit because it is kind of filthy. So I took it out and I'm sitting there looking at it and I said, well, it's not agate. So it must be chalcedony. And so, okay, chalcedony, I can deal with that. And then I was holding it for a couple days because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. And one day I realized this is not chalcedony. What this is, hold on. Can you see that green? This is jade. I have green jade in here, which I was not expecting at all. At least not this piece. So, which is kind of cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I may just leave it the way it is, give it a polish one face, and then go on. While I was on my little hiatus there, I did cut up a piece of carnelian. Look at that. Isn't that just, it's a color, it's just, yeah, it's really, really good. There we go. It's really, really nice. Also, if you look at the bottom, you can see in there, see if I can, you can see inside it. Now, this one I don't think has any bands in it, which means it's just carnelian. But one of these pieces that I cut, is it this one? I think this was the other half, wasn't it? Yeah. One of these pieces I cut has lines in it, which means it's no longer carnelian. Well, it's still carnelian. It's just now called, if it has bands in it, it's carnelian agate. Or some people just call it a red agate. They are really, I'm going to probably just, what's the word? I'm probably just going to polish the face of one on these two and leave it the way they are. Now, I have one more piece that I wanted to show you. Actually, I had several pieces that I'd like to show you, but seriously, my cats are going nuts, especially the big mouth Maine Coon Manx cat. He's got a pair of lungs on him that'll never quit. This, however, is a little special. Let me see if I can get the light on that without. How's that? Yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is a piece of malachite. And if you look at it very carefully, you can see there's a bug in there. And it's just I'm curious about cutting this. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to cut it or if I'm just going to face it or what I'm going to do, because these little holes, if you look, you can't see it this way. I highly doubt you can see it this way. Maybe you can. There are crystals in there, little bits of druzy. So I'm curious as to what else you can find in there. Now, there is one little other thing that I wanted to mention that I found out just the other day. I have a thing for volcanoes and rocks and geology, and I was listening to Geology Hub. He's one of my absolute favorite geology channels, and he had a members only video where he was showing off rocks, and they were from all over the place. They were agates. They were very beautiful agates, but he gave this toss off comment, and I'm just sitting there with my mouth open, hanging on the floor, because the minute I hear it, to me, I know it's true. But it answers the question that so many people ask: how do agates actually get in the host rock? And there's been everything from flow channels and all kinds of little things. But the absolute truth is, according to Tim Scott, is every agate starts out as a bug. And that's just, oh, wow. You've already got an opening in the basalt or whatever the host rock is. So now you have this little tiny bug. And if you look at a migdaloidal basalt, some people call it galaxy stone, you can see all these little pieces of stone in there. And a lot of them are agates and other kinds of bits of stones. So that's sort of what they start out like. They start out as a bug inside a piece of lava. Now, if it's intrusive, of course, it gets heated up to goodness knows how high, and then formed into whatever it's going to be with the minerals around. But it always starts out with this little tiny piece inside a bug of agate or a piece of mineral that it starts to grow around. Now, he didn't say the grow around part. I'm adding that in. I don't want anybody to accuse him of my mistakes. And if you are into geology and volcanoes, I highly recommend Geology Hub. He's brilliant. Let's just put it this way. He's brilliant. and amazing. And he puts out videos quite regularly. Some of them are older volcanoes, and some are some that we have never even heard of. It's very interesting stuff. I highly recommend his channel. It is called Geology Hub. So that's where I found out, oh my goodness, agates are made by bugs. I just, wow. That was, I like to learn. I get excited when I learn new things. Button, what are you doing? I have 4 cats. 2 of them are kittens. One of them thinks he's a kitten, and the other one, of course, is the boss. And then there's the dog who's not the boss of anything or anyone, and has even started to get pushed around by Hobbs, one of my kittens. It's adorable. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that yes, I'm still here. It got so long between the videos, I started thinking of giving it up. What's the point if you can't make videos? And the point is, I love rocks, and I don't really see. There's some lines in there; those are bands. So this would probably be called a red agate or a carnelian agate. You can see some more up top there. So I love rocks. I absolutely do. And this is an excuse for me to play with rocks. It's an excuse for me to go cut open rocks, look inside them, polish them if I'm able to, which starting Monday I should be able to, and to see what there is inside. And I'm not all about agates. Oops, sorry, once again. I'm not all about agates. I'm all about pretty. If it's pretty, I like it. I've picked rocks up that nobody else, it's a piece of granite. Who cares about a piece of granite? Well, it's a pretty piece of granite because it's pink and black and white, and it's lovely. So I'd probably bring those home and chop them up. I'm not in this to make a bazillion bucks and become famous or anything. I'm in this because I love rocks. It's something I know a tiny bit about. And as I mentioned in my very first video, the government uncertainty and everything that's going on in Congress, I'm not sure if I'm going to have Social Security next month. So this might help me out a little bit. And if it doesn't, and I lose my Social Security, oh well. I'm old enough. I can survive on the streets. Thank you. Thank you very much, Button. Oh, Lord. Knocked over one of my djembe drums. I am sorry about all this racket. I can't shut the door on these 2 kittens because all their food is in here. Their kitty litter box is in here. And they start to complain if I shut the door between me and them. And right now, it's just Button and myself. Button is my great big black. Well, he's not great big, actually. He's just great big compared to the kittens. But he's a lovely black cat and beautiful green eyes. And he's about 4 years old. Just a gorgeous cat. We had just a few days before I got the phone call from my best friend about these kittens. Button's litter mate died. So we've been dealing with that, and then my friend called, and it has helped enormously. Still miss Baloo though. This is Calvin. This is my little boy. He's very little. Oops, sorry. And this is Hobbs. Over there is Button. And these 2 are going to be sticking around. The floor is an absolute mess because they've kicked their cat food all over. I have to hoover everything up, and I just don't have time right now because I'm trying to get this done. So this has actually gone on for a lot longer than I was expecting, and I'm sorry if I bored you silly.